Hey YouTube family, today Cleo and I are at the lake. I'm going to answer all the questions I get regarding having a dog full-time traveling with me on the road in my van. What are the pros and the cons? How do I handle taking her in a store? Or what if I want to have fun with my friends? So Cleo's going to go swimming today, and then I'm going to show you guys around and answer those questions. Here. Alright, so I'm gonna answer some questions and get down to the nitty-gritty of how do I travel with my dog. Many questions that I have my dog. Cleo, Cleo. Girl. Y'all. Okay, this is not working. Cleo is around here somewhere playing in the water. So I get a lot of messages about what is it like traveling with my dog in a van. What do I do with her when it's time to go and visit friends, or if I need to go in a store, or what's it like to have her for safety? All kind of different questions. And this is not just a journey for me, it is a journey for Cleo as well. Whatever reason my soul chose to incarnate in this lifetime to experience life and to experience all aspects of life. And I also love to say that my van is just a vehicle to get me to different layers of myself, different layers of growth that I may not be able to tap into on a stationary basis at home. So the same experience that I'm looking for, the same journey and adventure that I'm looking for, I know that Cleo so incarnated for possibly the same reasons. So in everything that I do in my van, I make sure that I'm being very selfless, because it's not just about me. I want her to thrive and get whatever her soul needs the same way that I want mine to be able to get what my soul needs. So when it comes to things like, say for instance, leaving her in the car, I know there are many ways that you can go about doing that. However, I choose not to, just for safety reasons. You know, one, most places it is against the law. And then two, I would not be able to live with myself if anyone stole Cleo, or if anything were to happen while I was gone and, you know, we get into a bad situation to where I put Cleo in jeopardy. So I never want to take that risk. And at the end of the day, if Cleo can't come, then I can't come. If I can't figure out other reservations for her, then it's just something that I choose not to be a part of. And I have to really act on the selfless part of me, so it's still forcing me to grow. So when it comes to planning things like national parks, dogs are allowed in national parks, but they can't do anything in the national park, honestly. They can't even go to certain campgrounds. So you have to be very mindful of what you're planning and making sure that this is something that is dog friendly, to where your best friend can come with you no matter what happens. So when we go to national parks, which we do, I just understand that I'm not going to be able to do certain hikes. So what we do is we find places outside of the hikes. Like, there are so many spots you can just pull over and go explore in most national parks. And so that's what we do. Typically we're by ourselves in the middle of nowhere, but it's still an opportunity for her to be able to run and experience the same things that I want to experience as well. When it comes to safety in the van, Cleo, again, is my eyes and my ears. She's going to hear it before I hear it. She's going to see it before I see it. And she's going to feel it before I feel it. So I make sure that the way that I feed her, the time that I feed her, the time that I give her treats, it's like we alternate. So if I'm on alert, I make sure that this is when she has her food time. This is when she has her treat time. If I want to sleep, that typically is the time that Cleo stays up, almost like we just have different shifts. She typically stays up during the night and she sleeps in the front seat, and I leave a portion of the window open so she can see outside because she loves to sit in that front seat. So she's definitely a deterrent when it comes to safety in the van, which is necessary. You know, I get a lot of questions on Instagram like, hey, I'm gonna get a dog and I'm gonna go, do van life too. And I'm all for it. My only caution is that you do some deep self-reflection and ask yourself why you want to have a dog in the van. Because if it's just for Instagram purposes, if it's just for the sake of having a beautiful photo, you're gonna be disappointed very quickly. It is not easy having a dog, especially if you're someone who's never had a dog before. I get many people saying, I've never had a dog, but I'm gonna get a German Shepherd. You've never had a dog, I would never tell you to go get a German Shepherd as your first dog. That dog is gonna run you. But I would say that it is a lot having you have a whole nother person with you, making sure they have to be taken care of at all times. Another thing, Cleo sheds like crazy. So I have to make sure I'm cleaning all day, every day. I'm brushing her every day. And then also getting her out. This is not just my experience. I have to make sure if I'm going to a campground, it's a dog-friendly campground. Maybe they have a dog park in the campground. I need places to where at any given moment she can just run and let loose. That way she's thriving and enjoying her experience the same way that I am. Really get in tune with why do you want, I thought I heard something. Why do you want a dog on the road? Because that is not the only form of protection. And also when it comes to, many people have said, well, I want my dog because I'm gonna get lonely. Understood, okay? I definitely understand that, even though there may be some areas of self-reflection that you can do to possibly see where that void of loneliness is coming from and why you're choosing to find an outside source to validate that void and fill that void for you. That's a topic on a whole nother day. It's imperative that you know your why of wanting to bring another life with you, especially if you have not done the research on what it's going to take to keep this being happy, to keep it safe, knowing where you can go to an animal hospital or a pet clinic. Do you have your membership with PetSmart at Banfield? Things like that, just to make sure if at any point in time your dog gets sick, you know what to do at all times. Just if you had a child on the road, you would have to know what to do at all times. If I did not have the relationship that I have with Cleo, I would not bring her on the road. But because I know that Cleo can adapt to different environments, it's easy for me to bring her because I know after the first 2 or 3 days, she's gonna get acclimated with everything that's going on, because initially she has car anxiety and she's running all over the place, she's crying and panting. So you have to be mindful that just because you get a dog does not mean that they'll do well in the car or in the van. They may have severe van anxiety or car anxiety that causes them to throw up. Some dogs may even have seizures. So that environment is not meant for everyone. The same anxiety that you feel when you go into crowds of people or different environments, your dog is gonna feel that too. So it's important to gauge it. If Cleo had car anxiety and she did not adapt after 2 days, we would be going back home. And van life will cease to exist on a full-time basis, because that is my child. And I want to make sure that at all times she's comfortable. So, a lot of the messages that I get, I know people come from a good place and they really want a dog with them. But I'm an animal advocate, and I do encourage that you make sure that you're doing it for the right reasons. And make sure that you're picking a dog also that matches your personality. You will be required to have a ton of patience having your dog with you, because they don't know, they're confused. Even though they're gonna have fun, at every place that you go to. Cleo loves going to different national parks and being able to run and have these new smells every day. But I also have to acknowledge that there is a sense of anxiety too, being in a different place every day. There's no stability. There's nothing to hold on to and say that this is home. The only thing that Cleo has to hold on to and say that this is home is the van. But still, we're in different environments that she's not aware of. When we're at home back in Houston, it's different. It's the same backyard. It's the same neighbors. It's the same cats on the fence. It's the same environment. So she is in control, and she understands that stability. But the van may be a symbol of home, but we're in different parts, we're in different campgrounds, different people walking by, different voices, different smells, and all of that affects her. So she's having a great time, but I have to be honest and acknowledge that dogs do feel that anxiety of, hold up, where are we today? Especially if you come across things like we have, like Cleo has come in contact with coyotes. She's gotten into a fight with a jackrabbit. There are just different things that you have to be mindful of that may come up to make sure that you have a beautiful experience and to make sure that your dog has a beautiful experience too. I have such a beautiful relationship with Cleo. She's 2 years old, that I know her and she knows me, and she's watching my reactions and I'm watching hers. So because we're that close and that in tune and that bonded, it made this experience oh, it's so pretty, it's so pretty. So because we're so bonded, it made our experience much easier, and it made it much easier for her to adapt and enjoy the experience. Also, having food at a certain time, keeping them on a routine is very necessary. Dogs know what time it is intuitively, and they are looking for routines. They're looking for stability. So if you are constantly moving, the stability is gone. So you have to have stability in the routines, the time that they eat, the time that you wake up, the time that you take them out to use the restroom, the time that you allow them to play, the time that you allow them to explore. All of that needs to be consistent because they are looking for a sense of normalcy. And when they have a sense of stability and normalcy, they're more in tune with themselves, which can make sure that they're more in tune with you. And when it comes to protecting you, they'll be more in tune with the environment and everything that's going on around you. So I have a space in my van to where I can hook Cleo up to make sure that she can't run away anywhere. She can hop in the van or hop out of the van. I also carry a long leash as well, so she can move and explore while still being hooked up to the van. Every day I make sure that her experience is just as beautiful as my experience. I think that's all. I don't really have anything else. Make sure that your dog's experience equates to your experience. The same way that you're thriving, your dog should be thriving. That happiness, joy, that freedom that you feel, your dog should have that same joy, that same freedom, and should be that much excited about everything that you choose to do. So I hope that this answered many questions. I hope I didn't discourage anyone. I just want people to know that it is a very serious decision, and to make sure that you're doing it for the right reasons. And if you are, then you'll have a beautiful time with your pet companion. Thank y'all. Please like, subscribe, comment if you like this video, and I will see y'all another time.